Real estate wholesaling. It seems like it's a new thing on the block and everybody is doing it and showing how they're making almost $40,000 a month by doing it. Now, wholesaling real estate isn't anything new. It's been around for a pretty long time, but only a few people knew about it. But with the big influencers promoting it, it seems like it's cryptocurrency back in 2017. Bitcoin. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on real estate wholesaling. Now, I did do this for about half a year back in 2019 before all the hype came into it. So I'm just going to be sharing my experiences and what I've seen in those couple of months that I was doing it. Now, a huge plus for real estate wholesaling is that you don't need your license to sell. Anyone can do it. Before we hop into the video, make sure you guys help out the YouTube algorithm by smashing that like button down below. While you're down there, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel as well. I make videos all about investing, finance, and different ways to make money. But without further ado, let's get on to the video. Make sure you guys stay to the end of the video where I share, is wholesaling real estate actually worth it? First things first, what is wholesale real estate and how can you actually make money from it? Essentially, all you're doing is finding a distressed property, a property that is in horrible conditions, such as, overgrown grass, broken windows, properties that just look dead and need a lot of work to get it back to where it once was. Once you find a distressed property, you're going to want to talk to the property owner and try to make them sell you the property for under market value. Now, let's say they all agree and everything is good, you're going to have them sign a contract. Once you have the contract saying they're going to sell it for, X amount of price, you're going to go out and find a real estate investor who is looking for those type of properties. Now, all you're going to do is assign that contract that you got from the property owner to the real estate investor, so they are buying the property instead of you. So basically, you are the middleman for the real estate investor. You just go out finding them great deals and you make a profit doing it. So let's put some numbers on it to give you a better example of how it works and how you can actually make money from it. So let's say you find a distressed property and you talk with the owner back and forth and you guys come up with an agreement to sell the property for $150,000. Now, the market price for the property all renovated is $250,000. What you're going to do is take that contract that you wrote with the property owner and assign that to a real estate investor. Now, for this, you can put whatever price on top of it that you want. So you're getting the property for $150,000. You can sell it or assign the contract over to the real estate investor for $170,000, $180,000, whatever price that you want to do, and that split is your profit. So if you give it to the real estate investor for $180,000, you will be making a $30,000 profit for finding them the deal. Now, you have to be careful when you do this because you have to make sure the real estate investor has enough piece of the pie. If you're going to charge them $200,000 and the market price is $250,000 and it's going to cost them about $70,000 in renovations, it's not going to be worth their time to do it. So you have to make sure you know how much the property is selling for and what is a good price for you to make your profit on. Let's say you gave it to the real estate investor for $170,000 and you got it for $150,000. You just made $20,000 profit. The real estate investor is probably going to be making money on the back end because he got it at such a low price, and the person trying to sell the property got it without having to pay closing costs. He got it taken care of very quickly. So it's pretty much a win-win for everyone. Sounds pretty easy, right? Finding a distressed property, getting it under contract, assigning that contract over to a real estate investor. In theory, it does, but there's some stuff you should know about it first. First, finding a property that is distressed and the owner wants to sell is a lot easier said than done. Now, what you can do to find these types of properties is you can drive around, you can get a list of pre-foreclosures from your county office, you can get a list of probates, which are basically just owners of the property who have passed away and let their property to their children. You can put up signs on the road saying we buy homes for cash and collect leads that way. It's all about collecting leads, and as you can see, there's a lot to it. So just know you're gonna have to put in a lot of work of finding these properties. Second, a lot of people look at it as a no-cost business. Now, that is true to an extent, but if you really want to succeed, you're going to have to put money into it. Collecting leads aren't cheap. Putting up those banner signs, they're not going to be free. If you don't want to put up the money, that's fine, but you're just going to have to substitute your time for the money. Contacting agents, finding properties, going out and researching, that's all going to take time. Number 4, be ready to get rejected and fail. The amount of no's you're going to get is going to be absurd. So if you are afraid to talk to people who you've never met and negotiate a price with them, this is probably not the best thing for you. Not to say that you can't do it, you're just going to have to put in a lot of work practicing and rehearsing and making a script and just getting comfortable with talking to people you've never met. Also, like I said, be ready for rejection. Majority of the people you'll be contacting will not be interested in your service, but those few that are interested in your service, that's where you'll be making the big bucks. Let's say you find a property that fits all your criteria and the margins are there. Obviously, you're going to have to go in and talk with the property owner and try to get them to sell you the property for under market value. There's some things you can say to help you persuade them into selling your properties. To help persuade them even more, you can use tactics such as saying that you're going to be paying in all cash and that you don't have to worry about waiting those long periods of time if they go through a traditional real estate route. You can tell them that they don't have to worry about finding a real estate agent and paying for them, and that they don't have to pay for the closing costs. Everything will be taken care of. Now, if you're able to get a property under contract, you still have to make sure you can find a real estate investor who is looking to buy the property. Now, a way you can do this is going to websites such as Craigslist and reaching out to people who have the listings We Buy Homes and just letting them know that you have this property. You can also, while you're driving around, sometimes you'll see banners on the roads that say We Buy Homes. You can reach out to them and pitch them on the house that you have. Number 3, something I noticed while I was doing it and I don't see a lot of people talking about is just how important connections are. Having the right people in your contact list can be tremendously helpful to you. If you do this correctly, you don't even need to go out and find properties. You can have a real estate agent message you anytime a property that you're looking for comes up for listing, or if they find a property under not listed in the market, they can message you that. And you can take that message, and if you have the proper contact list of investors, you can send that exact property to those investors who would be interested and get paid that way. Basically just putting the pieces together. That's why having a good connections and network, it can be tremendously helpful. As they always say, your net worth is your network. So all this raises the question, can you actually make money wholesaling real estate? And the answer is yes, and you can make quite a bit doing it as well, but just know it's not as easy as everyone makes it out to seem. You're not going to go out and find a distressed property, getting under contract, selling it to an investor and making $40,000 in just 1 week. It's not as simple as that. You're going to have to put in a lot of work, learn techniques, sales tactics, build connections. You got to put in a lot of work. You have to treat it as a real business, not just as a side hustle, and if you put some things together, you'll be making 5 figures a month. Now, there are other ways you can make money in real estate that doesn't require all this extra work in wholesale real estate, and that is called bird dogging. Now, what this is, you just go out and find distressed properties. You can drive around getting a list. You can do whatever you want and find distressed properties. All you do is take that list and send it to an investor who is looking to buy. Now, they'll go out and do all the extra legwork and everything, talk with the owner and make sure everything goes well. And if they end up buying the property, they'll give you a piece of the cut because you helped them find the property. Now, obviously, you won't be making as much as if you were wholesaling real estate because you're not putting all that extra work, but it can also be a great way you can make extra income. But that is it for today's video, guys. Be sure to let me know what other types of videos you guys want me to make in the future. Just leave them down in the comment section down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you guys haven't already. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Peace.